It worked in mice. It worked in mice.
Welcome back to It Worked in Mice, the podcast where we sift through the latest health headlines so you don't have to. And by we, I mean Piper gets incredibly excited about lab-grown organs, and I remind everyone it'll be 50 years before any of it shows up at the local pharmacy.
Someone's in a cheerful mood today, and for the record, it's not just lab-grown organs. Today, it's a lab-grown human spinal cord. And Alex, this one is a major breakthrough.
A mini spinal cord. Let's be specific. A miniature, lab-grown human-ish spinal cord. I assume they haven't found a way to grow a full-sized one in a vat yet. That feels like a horror movie waiting to happen.
Stop! This is amazing! Researchers at Northwestern created these spinal cord organoids from stem cells. Think of them as tiny, functioning models of the real thing, and what they did was simulate a traumatic injury on them.
So they broke a tiny fake spine? That sounds less like a breakthrough and more like a Tuesday in my house when I drop something heavy.
They did it to see if they could replicate the damage that happens in a real injury, and they could. They saw all the key problems: cell death, inflammation, and something called glial scarring. That's this thick scar tissue that basically builds a wall and stops nerves from ever repairing themselves.
Right. The body's overenthusiastic attempt at healing that ends up making things worse. I can relate. So they built a model of a problem we already knew existed. What's the breakthrough?
The breakthrough is what they did next. They treated the damaged organoid with something called, and you're going to love this, dancing molecules.
Dancing molecules. Of course they did. Are we sure this is a research paper and not the script for a children's science show? What do? The cha-cha slide across the damaged nerve endings?
They might as well. These are fast-moving molecules that, when injected, basically tell the cells to start repairing and stop scarring. And Alex, it worked. In this human model, the nerve fibers, the little extensions that let neurons talk to each other, started growing again.
Okay, I will admit neurite outgrowth sounds slightly more scientific than dancing molecules. How much did they grow? A little bit? A hopeful sprout?
It was described as substantial. And even better, the scar tissue, that glial wall I mentioned, shrank until it was barely detectable. This is huge. It's validation that a therapy that worked in animals now works in a human tissue model.
It worked in mice, and now it worked in a petri dish. Call me when it works in a person. Although I guess this is a step closer. Did they mention how these dancing molecules actually work? Do they have tiny top hats and canes?
They signal pathways in the cells. It's complex, but essentially they're master communicators that jumpstart the body's own regenerative processes. The inventor, Samuel Stupp, said this is the only way to test a therapy on human tissue short of a full clinical trial, and the FDA has already given this therapy an orphan drug designation, which helps speed things up for rare conditions.
See, now that's a detail that matters. FDA designations are more interesting than dancing molecules. It means there's a real path forward. Still, I'm not holding my breath for a spine-in-a-box kit anytime soon.
But you have to admit, it's incredibly hopeful. For people with spinal cord injuries, this is more than just a headline. It's a tangible step towards a future where that kind of damage might not be permanent.
Okay, fine. I'll give you this one. It's objectively good news. But I bet my next topic will wipe that optimistic smile right off your face. Are you ready for a story about brain parasites?
Oh, I love stories about the weird things our bodies do. Hit me.
You might regret saying that. According to researchers at UVA Health, about 1 in 3 people worldwide are carrying a parasite called Toxoplasma gondii. And guess where it likes to set up shop for life?
Let me guess. The brain?
In the brain, a tiny single-celled freeloader is potentially camping out next to your thoughts and memories as we speak. You get it from undercooked meat, unwashed vegetables, or, and this is the classic, contact with our feline friends.
So you're telling me there's a 1 in 3 chance my cat has given me a lifelong brain parasite. That's strangely fascinating. But most people don't have any symptoms, right?
Exactly. Most people never get sick. And for years, scientists weren't entirely sure why our immune system was so good at keeping it under wraps. But now they've figured it out, and it's both brilliant and brutal. It's like a secret agent protocol.
Ooh, a biological kill switch. Tell me more.
So, our immune system sends out these elite soldiers called CD8 plus T cells to hunt down and destroy infected cells. But here's the twist. Toxoplasma is so sneaky it can infect the T cells themselves. It's like a hijacker getting into the cockpit of the fighter jet sent to shoot it down.
That sounds bad. How does the body fight back against that?
This is the cool part. The T cell realizes it's been compromised. It knows it's now a Trojan horse for the enemy. So, using an enzyme called caspase 8, it triggers a self-destruct sequence. It sacrifices itself.
Wow, so the T cell dies to kill the parasite hiding inside it.
Game over for the parasite. The host cell dying means the parasite has nowhere to live. It's an incredible defense mechanism. In their experiments, mice that couldn't trigger this self-destruct sequence in their T cells had way more parasites in their brains. That is one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. Our own immune cells are smart enough to know when to take one for the team. It's not just a blind army, it's a highly intelligent, sacrificial defense force. I'm still stuck on the fact that my cat might be a vessel for a brain-hijacking freeloader. You're seeing intelligent design. I'm seeing a reason to wash my hands for 20 minutes after petting my cat. Hold on, I think I need to go check he hasn't been leaving little parasite gifts all over the house. I'll be right back.
It worked in mice. Worked in mice. That sounds real nice.
Sounds real nice.
Will it work for you? Let's find out what's true. It worked in mice.
And he's back. Did you give your cat a full biohazard screening or just a suspicious glare?
Let's just say Mittens and I are having a conversation about personal space later. Okay, where were we? Ah, yes, the body's amazing ability to self-destruct to save us from our cats. It really is clever, I'll give you that. It just reinforces my belief that the inside of our bodies is a constant, terrifying battlefield.
Or a beautifully coordinated symphony of survival. It's all about perspective. I think it's comforting to know those mechanisms are in place.
I suppose. Speaking of things that may or may not be good for you, I've got one you're really going to enjoy because it's a takedown of one of the biggest health trends of the last decade, intermittent fasting.
Oh no, not intermittent fasting. I know so many people who swear by it. The 16-8 method, the 5-2 diet. Are you telling me it's all for nothing?
I'm not telling you anything. A massive new Cochrane review is, and you know Cochrane reviews are the gold standard. They're famously thorough and impartial. They looked at 22 different studies with almost 2,000 participants.
Okay, and what did the gold standard find?
They found that when you compare intermittent fasting to just regular old-fashioned dietary advice, like eat fewer calories, it has little to no impact on weight loss. People didn't lose any more weight by skipping breakfast than they did by just eating a smaller dinner.
So little to no impact? That's surprising. What about compared to doing nothing at all?
That's the real kicker. Even when compared to people on a waiting list who got no treatment at all, the review concluded with moderate certainty that intermittent fasting has little to no effect on weight loss.
Okay, that is a bit of a blow. But weight loss isn't everything. People talk about other benefits, like better energy or improved cholesterol.
They looked at that too. Little to no effect on quality of life. No major impact on total cholesterol or triglycerides. They did note it might slightly increase your good cholesterol, but the evidence was pretty flimsy.
I feel like you're enjoying this way too much.
I am, because for years we've been hearing about this revolutionary biohack, when it turns out the big secret is just eating less food. It doesn't matter when you eat it, it just matters how much. It's so beautifully, cynically simple. The review even pointed out that in most of these studies there was a high risk of bias. People wanted it to work, so the studies were often poorly designed.
Okay, but hang on. I can see a reason it might still be useful for some people, even if it's not a magic metabolic therapy. For some, having a strict window for eating is just easier than counting calories all day. It's a tool for managing intake, right? A structure.
Oh, sure. One of the experts they quoted said exactly that. If it works for you as a dietary structure, great, but it shouldn't be marketed as metabolically superior. It's just a psychological trick to get you to consume fewer calories overall. There's no magic happening at the 16-hour mark.
I guess that's fair. So the takeaway isn't that intermittent fasting is bad, just that it's not the miracle solution it's been made out to be. The fundamentals are what matter: diet quality, exercise, sleep.
Exactly. The boring stuff that we all already know. No secret handshake, no magic window of time, just the tedious business of eating your vegetables and going for a walk. Sorry to burst the bubble.
The bubble is burst, but that's what we do here, right? Sift through the science. So today we've learned that our bodies have an amazing self-destruct button to fight off cat-borne brain parasites.
Still not over it.
Continuing excitedly, that the key to weight loss is disappointingly simple, and that one day we might be able to heal spinal cord injuries with tiny dancing molecules.
Okay, when you put it like that, it sounds pretty good. I'm still placing my bets on the simple, boring stuff over the dancing molecules, but I will concede that the spinal cord research is a genuinely bright spot. It's a reminder that even when things seem permanently broken, science is working on a fix.
See, I knew I could find the optimist in you somewhere. It was just hiding behind the brain parasites and failed diets.
Don't get used to it. Join us next time on It Worked in Mice, where we'll find more reasons for me to be cynical and for Piper to be relentlessly, inexplicably hopeful.
This sounds real nice. Will it work for you? Let's find out.